Hello students, let us start our new session of chapter number 9, Ray Optics and Optical Instrument, by the topic Refraction through a Prism. Now we are taking a prism, as you can see in the diagram, over which we are going to pass the light. This triangular prism defined in the diagram as ABC. So the angle of incidence and the refraction at the first phase, it is defined as a AB, through which light is falling over it. It will incident from that AB side, and R1, that is the surface from which light is going to be refracted in the prism. So AB is the surface of the prism we consider, on which light will be incident by the angle I, and R1 is the angle of incident from glass to air for the second phase AC, and R2 is the angle of refraction or emergence E. So here in the prism, two surfaces are there. Over one surface, light is incident from the air. Now within that prism, whatever the light is reflected by the R1 angle, now it becomes the incident angle for the AC surface, and then R2 is the incident angle. Then it will be emergence by the angle E, or refracted in the air again by the angle E. So here two mediums are, three layers of medium come across. One air, second mirror, that is in terms of glass medium, and the next that it will be air again. So here we are going to we are going to define the angle between the emergent ray RS and the direction of incident ray PQ. This is what the externally given incident PQ, and finally the ray coming out from the glass medium, from the prism, that is RS. So that emergent angle is known as angle of deviation. Here you can see from the diagram that the I and E almost will be equal to same, but that is in the deviation form. So this deviation delta is required to determine. Here this quadrilateral A, Q and R, that particular quadrilateral is available, having two angles Q and R. These are right angles. So vertices Q and R available. These two angles are right angles. Therefore their sum will be 180. If vertices are available at the right angle, that is with the 90 degrees. So while we are going to add it, it will give you the 180 degree. So here the sum of the other angles of quadrilateral would be again 180, because as angles available at vertices Q and R 90 plus 180, so the remaining two angles must be with the 180. So that remaining two angles, that is angle A and angle Q and R, their addition also would be 180. So from that, from the triangle Q and R, we can say that R1 plus R2 plus Q and R equal to 180. So by comparing these two equations, A plus Q and R equal to 180, and R1 plus R2 plus Q and R, that is equal to 180, that is a total 360 degree would be there. By comparing these equations, we able to get R1 plus R2 equal to A. Now if we want to find the deviation, that deviation is the sum of deviation of two different phases. So that is the deviation from first phase, that is we have I minus R1 from the surface AB, and deviation of the second surface of prism, that is AC, that is available by E minus R2. So that is del 1 for surface AB, that is I minus R2, and del 2, that is the deviation of second surface AC, that is E minus R2. While we are going to add it, we get the total deviation del, that is equal to I minus R1 plus E minus R2, that is equal to I plus E minus A, and A is R1 plus R2. We are going to replace from the above equation. So this is the angle of deviation depends on the angle of incidence. So deviation depends on the light ray is falling on, that is onto the surface, that is the incident angle. Here it is the graphical representation shown between the angle of deviation and angle of incidence. So the plot between the angle of deviation and angle of deviation incidence, that is given for the any value of del. Here this deviation is available except the angle I equal to E. If I, incident angle, and emergence angle E, that would be equal, then deviation won't be available, it will be parallel, it will be a straight line. So this graphical representation we are having except the value of I equal to E. So here it is expected from symmetry of I and E that del remains the same if I and E are interchanged. If the position of I and E will be interchanged, as you can see from the prism diagram, angle of incidence is available from the left side and emergence angle is available at the right side. Means object is available from left side and light is falling from that left side onto the first surface of prism, and from the right side the image will be generated. If you change the position of object, if the object will be available on to the right side, then image will be created at left side. At then case also angle of incidence I and emergence angle E, both values will remain same. So here this is related based on the fact of path of ray that can be traced back, resulting in the same angle of deviation. If minimum deviation is available by the value dm, then the refracted ray inside the prism becomes parallel to the base. As we can say, the curvature graph is available, that is by the exception of I equal to E. If both angles are same, then parallel line would be there. Practically I can never be equal to E. That slight difference will be that. But if this angle variation is very much less, then also it seems like a straight line. It seems like a parallel line to the base. So if del would be dm, minimum deviation, by taking that assumption I equal to E, then we can say R1 equal to R2. And if R1 equal to R2, then from the above slide we can say that 2R equals to A, or that is, or R equal to A. So dm, that we can say deviation del equal to dm, if we replace, then del equal to I plus E minus A, and I plus E equal to, that both are value same. So we can write down like 2I minus A. If we make the subject of formula I, then angle of incidence we able to get A plus dm by 2. This is what the angle of incidence equal to angle of emergence. By if we are, if the angle of incidence or the ray is falling on the AB surface by this particular angle A plus dm by 2, then E we are getting the same value. For that, refractive index of prism we have N21, that is N2 by N1, and N2 is the refractive index of prism glass, that is sine A plus dm by 2, and N1, that is a sine A by 2. So angle A and dm can be measured experimentally. It provides a method of determining refractive index of the material of the prism. So for small angle prism or a thin prism is there, then dm is very much small. So it can be sine a plus dm by 2 can be write as an a plus dm by 2. Then sine a by 2 can be replaced by a by 2. So n21 equal to a plus dm by 2 divided by a by 2. Make the subjective formula dm, that is a minimum deviation angle, that dm equal to n21 minus 1 into a. This equation is applicable for thin prisms which do not deviate light much, or almost parallel light can be visible. Now the next topic is dispersion by a prism. It's known that from a long time that when a narrow beam of sunlight, generally narrow beam of sunlight, that is a white light is there, if this white light is incident on a glass prism, then emergent light, it is seen to be consisting of several colors. If narrow beam light or the white light passing through the prism, then at the other side we are getting a several colors. That color variation is broadly available. The different component of colors, it's visible, that is like a rainbow color: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red in that particular sequence only. The red color bends the least by least value, and the violet current will bend by the most angle. This phenomena of splitting of lights that into the color component, it is known as dispersion. Dispersion, it means from the white light, the other side we are getting a range of colors. The different colors we are getting at other side of the prism, that is known as dispersion. This pattern of color components of light is called spectrum of light. This spectrum of light is very less, that is in the visible spectrum, for the smaller part that we have seen in the chapter 8 in electromagnetic spectrum, in which the number of waves variations are given for the different range of frequencies. So this dispersion or the number of colors are visible by our eye, that is in the visible band, visible spectrum. So here, how this variation is available, or we can say that does prism itself create colors in some way, or does it only separate the colors already present in the white light? That we need to verify. That prism creates this number of colors, or these colors are separated from the white light. Just to understand this phenomena, one experiment is known, and this experiment is done by Newton. It sets the two prisms in opposite direction. Similar prisms are inverted, and emergent beam from the first prism fall onto the second. As you can see in the diagram, white beam is falling onto the first prism, and the colors are dispersed from the first prism. It will given to the second prism, which is inverted in position. So it will take the different colors as an input. At the other side of the prism, we able to get the white light beam again at the resulting form. So it was clear that prism just splits the white color into the number of colors, and inverted prism, it's going to be combine all the colors and it will generate white light back. So prism won't generate number of colors, it just separate the light number of colors from the white light, and if the prism is inverted, then it can consume the different colors and combine into the white light. So this white light consists of different colors which can separated by the prism. So it must be we can understand that a ray of light can be defined mathematically, but actually it does not exist. So this ray is really a beam of many number of lights. If we are saying that is a white light, that white light is not existing. White light is nothing but the number of beams are going to be combined into the single beam. So this single beam consumes all these 7 light beams. And each ray splits into the component of colors which enters into the prism. And these colors rays come out into the different side. They produce the white beam. These colors are having a different wavelength of light which is available into the visible spectrum, having a wavelength band 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. Red light having a longest wavelength from all these colors, that is a 700 nanometer, and violet having a least wavelength, short wavelength, that is a 400 nanometer. And the dispersion takes place because of the refractive index of the medium. For the different wavelengths, it gives you the different color. So as red color component band least by having a larger wavelength, and violet color bands more by having the shorter wavelength. So bending of red component of white light is least, while the most bending is available of the violet color, that is based on their wavelength. So we can say that red light can travel faster than violet through the glass prism. So in the table, it gives the refractive index for the different wavelength for crown glass and flint glass. Thick lenses could be measured as made of by many prisms, and thick lenses show chromatic aberration due to dispersion of light. So here this table is given. For the violet current, the wavelength is 396.9 nanometer. In crown glass, its refractive index is 1.533, and in flint glass that is 1.663. Blue color having a wavelength 486.1. In crown glass, refractive index is 1.523, and in flint glass it's 1.639. For yellow color, the wavelength is 589.3 nanometer. Refractive index in crown glass is 1.517, and in flint glass that is 1.629. For the red color, wavelength is 656.3 nanometer. Crown glass having a refractive index 1.515, and in flint glass that is a 1.622. So as you can see, violet having a least wavelength 396.9 nanometer, having the highest refractive index in crown glass as well as flint glass. And as the wavelength is reduces, refractive index is also reduces. Red color having a maximum wavelength, that is a 656.3 nanometer, having a least wavelength in both the medium crown glass and flint glass. So here, dispersion by a prism in which the variation of refractive index with wavelength is pronounced in some media than other. In vacuum, the speed of light is independent of the wavelength. In vacuum, no dispersion is available in the medium, and all colors can travel through the same speed. It follows from the fact that sunlight reaches us in the form of white light, and that is not in the form of different color components. And glass is the dispersive material, so white light while falling over it, it will give you the different color variation. Clear? Here we are going to end this session. Hope you understood. Thank you.